If you're not wealthy, if after so many years of work, your bank account at the end of the month looks the same, it's because your relationship to money is most likely the same as the relationship that you have with your time. Because when the time comes that you've got some time, you waste it. The same way when you start making some money, you spend it. The day you don't show up, the day you don't do it, could be the day that everything you've done up until that point was like you didn't show up at all. To enjoy living in the presence of money and having an abundance of wealth, you need money to be in your presence and for an abundance of wealth to be present with you. If you don't have those things, how can you think to yourself that today is any different than the day before? Who's wealthier? The person who makes more money or the person who keeps more than what they spend? It's not enough to generate revenue. Typically, for every stream of revenue you have, there will be a cost associated with it. The trick, therefore, is to become more profitable and to increase your profitability. Essentially, the aim is to generate revenue whilst keeping your cost as low as possible. It also means keeping a reserve of cash ready for reinvestment into other revenue streams. It's your responsibility to decide what you deem worthy of investment. You can invest into physical assets like metals, property, anything you deem to increase in value over time that exists in the physical world. You could also invest in stocks and shares of businesses through brokerage platforms like Interactive Brokers. You can invest into groups of stocks called index funds through platforms like Vanguard. For every pound you make, it would be healthy to keep at least 30 to 40% of that pound in the form of an investment as opposed to liquid cash. For every dollar you earn, 60 cents can go to the life that you live, and 40 cents can be used to benefit yourself in the future. Being liquid with high amounts of cash in reserves is great if you want to purchase something outright. But even then, this can be considered bad practice when you can use credit as a means to keep your cash and leverage your bank's cash, allowing you to borrow more than what you may have so you can purchase investments that over time increase your net worth. Through this philosophy and way of thinking, we are acknowledging who we are. If you are someone who doesn't spend any money you earn, it is wise to invest it after doing your due diligence on what assets you believe are worth investing in. If you are someone who does spend your money, well, now you have something of value you can spend your money on. Some people like to spend and like to buy things to feel good. Instead of buying new clothes or eating out and spending your money on food and restaurants. With this philosophy and way of thinking, you can now enjoy spending your money on something that has the potential to increase your net worth and your net value. Looking at life this way, it makes it seem that everything else that we do and everything else that we buy is simply a waste of your time and your resources. Now, this doesn't mean you can't go out there and enjoy your life in hopes that, at the end of your life, you can look at a pile of cash and that all the assets you've spent your entire life building. The point of life is simply to enjoy it. None of us know how long we are here for, so it would be wasteful to not take opportunities to enjoy ourselves and to create memories with new people or the people we care about. That said, if you want to change the current standard of life that you have to change your perception about that life and about the factors that can help you to improve the life you are living. Your perception has to change. If you look at money the same way as you look at your time, with the angle of not paying particular focus to it, not placing any importance to it, not caring about it, then it will show by the actions you do and by what the final result of your life is. If you waste your time and your money on doing things you don't really need to be doing, you're missing the time and wasting the only opportunity you had at that moment in time to make the decision to invest and to improve your future. Instead, by opting to waste your money, you've also chosen to waste your time and vice versa. When you waste your time, typically you may have also been wasting your money. This philosophy can be applied to many things in your life. This philosophy can be applied to the relationships you have with your family, your friends, your partner, yourself. This philosophy can be applied to your spending habits and the things you waste money on buying that don't increase your overall net worth or happiness. It can be applied to the vision you have of yourself and your ability to succeed and to create success and to fulfill your goals. If you're wasting time, by definition, you are not using it to achieve something that is greater than yourself. You have opted to misuse your time and your life by doing things you won't even remember. Let's take this one step further. What is money? It started off as a way of measuring your debt. Today, people who are not well informed on what money is and where it comes from may have a belief similar to people who believe that the milk you buy comes from a store and not from a cow. Money comes from work. Money comes from a bank. Money comes from a central bank. Paper money, cash, is printed in central banks. For the pound, it's the Bank of England. For the dollar, it's the Federal Reserve. For the Japanese yen, it's the Bank of Japan. Well, actually, the Bank of Japan specifically commissions the National Printing Bureau, a government agency which is subsidized by their Ministry of Finance, over there in Japan for the Japanese yen. Your personal bank will take money from the central bank to make their money from us, the consumers, on credit charges and loans. Fractional reserve banking allows for increased money supply, as banks keep a small percent of your deposits and on what you may refer to as your savings or your current account. And they keep a small percent as a reserve for us to be able to take money out. So what happens to the reserves? Well, let's say the bank keeps 10% of our money, and they'll loan that other 90% to, another business owner, or let's just say they loan it out to anybody asking for money. They keep enough 10% deposits from all of us that there is typically always enough in their own cash reserve to always allow us to withdraw the money that it says that we have in our account. If everyone withdrew all their money all at the same time from every bank, that would certainly be interesting. Don't be attached to money. Money is a tool to create opportunity. Without money, the only other tools that you have is yourself and time. With yourself and with enough time, you can create opportunities for yourself to move money from someone else's bank account into yours by offering a service, but essentially by providing value. The more value you provide per net unit or per amount of time, the more money you can expect for the time you have spent on, okay? Providing, that it's a valuable service. If you provide no value, you can expect to see no money and not have any money because you're not offering anyone or any business or any people something that they consider to be useful or valuable. If you think you're broke because there aren't any opportunities out there, it's because you haven't created those opportunities. Saying there's no jobs available means one of two things. Either you haven't required any skills that people are willing to pay for or aren't able to monetize the skills that you have, meaning you don't know how to talk to people in a way that demonstrates the value of the skill set you have. And these are easily resolved. Every problem has a solution. If you don't have any skills, start with what you're interested in and what you enjoy. Are you good enough at something to any degree to which someone else could benefit from you sharing your knowledge, and are people already paying for it? If you can't communicate your skill, think about what makes you different from other people and why people should come to you. Opportunity is in the hands of the people who see their own potential and who spend their time on making it a reality. Nothing is stopping you. Be the change you want to see in the world, guys. Keep it up. And I'm proud of you. Keep working on yourself and keep trying to create change around you. Try to leave this world in a better place. Thank you so much.